So, in these stories of people being inspired by Obama, like in what ways would you say some people have been inspired?
Well, there's one, our most popular one, called Yes We Can College, where a young African American male, he has a brother who he walks in the house and he's like, he's excited because he got his envelope from this university he'd applied to, and his brother sort of like kills his dreams. Like, that's not what we do around here. We don't go to college. Like, you need to get a job, support the family. And so as his brother's talking to him, he sits down and he gets a little sidetracked. And as he's sitting there, the TV is on, and one of Obama's speeches comes. So his speech comes up and it drowns the brother's voice out. And we just sort of watch this young man as he becomes inspired. And by the time the portion of the speech is over, the brother says, the brother's voice comes back up, and he's just like, gosh, what did he say? He said something like, it's just not something we can do. And the kid stands up with the envelope and he says, yes, we can.
Sure.
So it's like, it's all there's 7 different ones with all of them ending in yes, we can. In these situations, like this one, yes, we can vote, is this old Caucasian woman whose husband has recently passed away, and her son is coming to pick her up to go down and vote. And when he gets there, she has an Obama button on, and her son is like, yo, what the hell is that? And Dad would be really disappointed with you, and if he saw that, and he's going on this rant, she like slaps him, and it's just like, I'm gonna do what's right, and he's like, Mom, we can't do this, and she's like, yes, we can, So I mean, it's stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
It was really great experience doing that whole thing.
So what's interesting is that one thing that was different about this presidential campaign as opposed to the past is also something unique about your film and perhaps the future of filmmaking. That before, if you're making a movie, you can only watch it in the theater. Right?
Yeah.
And now you can make it, you can show it, and people can see it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that can help you not only in terms of the distribution of the film, but in getting attention of the film. So tell me about some of the stuff that you did with YouTube or online media, social media, those type of things. In terms of this
in
film
particular with this one, because it's been a huge part of the getting the recognition out about this film.
So you're talking about Mooz-lum now.
Mooz-lum, yes. We currently, I remember we were in the production office and we reached our first 1,000 fans on Facebook. And we were so excited, like, yeah, we have 1,000 fans on Facebook, and we were like, yeah, this is great. Today we have over 70,000.
70?
Yeah, 70,000. And from over 50, 60 different countries around the world. We get messages all the time, every single day, from people in Egypt, from people in Australia, from people in the UK, asking when this movie is coming there. For example, we're going to be in Cairo International Film Festival, and Facebook allows you to see like the insights, like how many people you have in these areas. And we have over 3,500 people in Egypt, so we'll be able to notify the people that we're coming to Cairo, and we have an audience there, and it's been amazing. We've had a trailer on YouTube for about 2 months now, and it's over 180,000 hits on YouTube, and you can also see like where people are watching the trailer and the trends and stuff like that. So, I mean, this means everything for them. 10 years ago, you couldn't do this. Be able to have a tool where you can actually communicate with your audience, and it's incredible. Because people ask questions, we answer them, and it's an effort. It's like a communal effort. So by the time the film comes out, people feel like they've had a part in it, which they have. Because you walk in a room with a distributor and you're like, look, not only do we have a good film, but we have 1 million people that want to see it. And here they are. Here's the demographics, here's where they live. And that means everything. So it's been great. I'm surprised it's still free.
Yeah.
Like there's no, I don't, because you see trailers, you see on TV, you see posters, billboards, and that stuff is great. It gets the attention, and that's been the formula to make it work. But never has there been a tool to allow you the ability to communicate with your audience as we can today.
Yeah, and so it creates this much more close, this much more intimate relationship between the filmmaker and the fans.
Yeah.
I mean, what type of interaction have you had with the fans, those who've seen the movie, those who haven't seen the movie?
It's been such a wonderful response. I mean, it's a little overwhelming, like the response that it's such an emotional film that when a lot of people have so many questions after and feel sort of a connection to our main character. And the surprising thing, which I really wanted to come across, which I didn't know for sure if it would, but it certainly connects with people who aren't Muslim as well. It's like this character's struggle, his journey, it's one that's shared universally, and it's one that many people experience, and it's great that people that are not Muslim, because I had two goals with this film. One, to give a different voice to the Muslim people in America, to give a different representation, to humanize a group. And number two is to enlighten people that do not know anything about this, or have limited knowledge about this, or a skewed perception of this based upon what's been presented to them. Because what's being presented, you cannot blame people for thinking how they think or feeling how they feel, because if all you see about something is this element, and you're constantly bombarded with Muslim extremists, Muslim terrorists, Islamic, I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, this is what you know, because it's what's been presented to you, and for it to be on these big news stations and these, like, you're gonna feel like it's official. Like, wow, this is who this group of people is.
So you're talking about non-Muslim perceptions of Muslims in America. The perception is often so negative that you can't help but to think that it is so horribly bad.
Yeah, and I said before, like, if I wasn't Muslim and if I didn't have a connection to it, I might think that way too. I don't know. I don't know. If you are, when the settlers came here before, and they were presenting the Indians as these horrible people that are going around chopping people's heads off, it's a fear tactic that's always, it's been instituted or incorporated within our history from the beginning of this country. From black people to Japanese to Jewish people before. It's insane that this cycle continues to happen. So this presentation now, it's the same idea that it's happened before, and I would like to offer something different. And with me offering this, it can hopefully, because this sort of ignorance is very crippling to our society. If we are able to clear up some ignorance, it could sort of offer a crutch to a society that's crippled.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this resurgence. As you mentioned, we've had this throughout our history. With other groups, Catholics have faced it, Native Americans have faced it, African Americans have, of course, faced it. Definitely, the Jews have faced it, and now Muslims are facing it. And perhaps, it might even be fair to say that there's a resurgence after the election of our president.
Right.
And, a lot of these sentiments, which either had been gone, have returned, or have surfaced.
Well, there's this displaced anger and feeling of, people didn't know. Like, a lot of people were very angry that he got elected, but did not want to say why.
Sure, yeah.
It's like, you want to talk about everything else, and have rallies, but I know what hate is.
Yeah.
In these rallies I see this hate, and it's not about his policies, it's not about healthcare, it's because of that element, which we know. And it's like, this is something that people can grab onto and say, well, maybe he's Muslim too.
Yeah.
Our president. It's like that even, it's insane to me. Like, the stuff people are saying nowadays and what people are getting away with, and the idea that if you were to say these things about anyone else, any other nationality, any other religion, it would not fly.
It would not be accepted.
It would not fly at all. I mean, you cannot, even if you were to say these things about like gay people or something, or Jewish people, anybody, you know, it's like, people will be like, yo, what's wrong with you, man? But it's okay to say it about, you know, Muslims.